Nothing happened to us, it happened for us. What bring pain in our heart is what God has qualified us to heal. So all the pain, all the hurt that we went through, we had to go through that just so we could have empathy. So when somebody else go through it, we won't have our nose in the air judging them, but we will have empathy and can actually help them because we've been through that and gained experience and lessons from that. And so when we understand that we are here to serve, use all our gifts, all our experiences to help people, we understand nothing happened to us, it happened for us. So we could walk in our God-given purpose and serve the people we are put here to serve, for real. Just don't let people talk out of what God put in your heart, for real, because you'll go to your deathbed with a whole bunch of regrets. I done been there, bro. I done been there. And when you're on your deathbed, you're not thinking about the dumb stuff you did or the mistakes you made. You're going to think about the stuff you didn't do, the chances you didn't take, the opportunities you missed, and the times you didn't live in the moment. And so that's why I say, man, don't let people talk you to what God put in your heart, and always take that step and live with a whole bunch of whole wells than go to your deathbed with a whole bunch of what ifs, for real. A lot of times we know what we should be doing and people come in our lives and try to make us compromise. When we know we should be working harder, when we know we should be working out, when we know we shouldn't be doing something, or we know we shouldn't be eating a certain thing, and the person come in our life and try to ask us to compromise, like, you ain't got to go so hard. Go ahead, you can eat this, you will be all right. You have to live with the repercussions of that, not them. Most people do not have your best interests. And so when you know what you should be doing, don't let people talk you out of it, because people will have you compromising every single time, for real. When I die, I don't want to be buried. I want to be planted. When you bury something, you hide it. So when you die and they bury you, they throwing dirt on your casket to hide the body. But when you live a fulfilled life, when you are blessing the people, when you do God's will on this earth, when you walk in your purpose, you don't get buried, you get planted. Because when you a blessing, you go on the earth as a seed. And just like when you plant any seed, it go in as a little seed that look like nothing. And then it grow roots. And then it become something greater when it come out than it went down. Obey your spirit. Obey your spirit. Some people call it a gut feeling. Some people call it an intuition, but that is God speaking to us through the spirit. Sometimes we know what we know, but don't know how we know it. And a lot of times we'll overthink that, or we'll let somebody talk us out of it and we'll think we tripping. And deep down in our spirit, we know. We don't know how we know, but we just know. Obey that gut feeling. That is God speaking to you, for real. Sometimes we need to fix our attitude and have more of an attitude of gratitude. We look at things with such a negative mindset, like, man, I gotta go walk, I gotta go work out. Man, it's people who would die to work out. It's people who wish they had legs and wish they can go walk. And here we is mad because we have the ability and the health to go work out and walk. Man, I gotta drive way over there. I don't even feel like driving. It's people will give anything to have their driver's license and a car, and we complain about driving. Man, I gotta go pick up my kids, man. I gotta do this with my kids, man. It's people who don't have kids who would die to have kids. Instead of I gotta go get my kids, man, I get to go get my kids. Instead of I gotta go work out, I get to go work out. Instead of I gotta go for a walk, I get to walk. I have legs. Instead of I gotta drive way over here, I get to drive. I have been blessed enough to have a car. And so sometimes we need to fix our attitude and have more of an attitude of gratitude, for real. I'm learning to live in the moment. Dwelling in the past only caused stress and depression because we playing old stories in our head that was not nice over and over and over, dwelling on our hurts, dwelling on our pains, dwelling on our losses. And then when we look too far in the future, it gives us anxiety because we just anxious, like what's gonna happen, what's not gonna happen, what's gonna go wrong, what's gonna go right. And so when we dwell in the past and looking too far in the future, we take for granted the gift of today. The gift of today could be so beautiful, and we will miss it dwelling in the past and looking in the future. And so I'm learning, man, to appreciate the now and be here, be now, and sometimes just be still and just make the most out of the very moment, for real. We teach people how to treat us. If a person call you something that you don't like being called, it's up to you to correct them. You don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to be rude or honoring. You can actually correct someone with love and respect. Respectfully, like, I don't like being called that, and you could tell them the reason why. I don't like when you treat me like that. I don't like when you do this to me or around me. You could say that respectfully. But the moment you just let it go and expect the person just to change, man, you give a person an inch, they gonna take a whole mile. So if you tolerate disrespect in the beginning, you think they gonna change? It's gonna get worse and worse and worse. And now you mad at them when you should be mad at yourself. If you tell a person, I don't like being called that, and they continue to call that or do what you told them not to do, you don't have to go back and forth because you cannot change people. But just hit them with the deuces. I'm out. You could love certain people from a distance, whether it's your mama, whether it's your brother, whether it's a coworker or a lifelong friend. Just remove yourself from the situation. But being mad at getting treated a certain way and you've been tolerating it over and over and over, hoping they change, that is your fault, not their fault, for real. Man, setbacks and losses actually be blessings. Sometimes we know our goal and we might be going down the wrong road to get to our goal. But when we had that setback, we could look like, damn, I was going the wrong way, and call an audible just so you can head to the right direction to get to your purpose. But you would never change directions if you didn't have a setback, and you would be going years and going 90 miles per hour headed in the wrong direction. So that setback can actually be a blessing, for real. It makes me really want to go harder. It make me not want to cut corners. It make me just want to use all my talents, all my gifts for my God-given purpose, for real. Just empty myself. So when I go to my deathbed, I can go with a smile knowing I gave my all, bro. Knowing I gave my all. And if I didn't get where I thought I should get, I know I came close because I gave my all, man. And so I don't want to go to my deathbed with a whole bunch of unfulfilled stuff, man, for real, because that's agony. And so just give your all. Just give your all. I believe one of the keys to happiness is doing what we gifted at every single day. Even if it don't bring us any money, even if it don't bring us any popularity, but what we naturally gifted at, we have to do it every day so we can be fulfilled. If you're good at drawing, draw every day. Go ahead, give your drawings to kids. Pass it out to people. Upload it online. Make t-shirts of your drawings. If you're good at cooking, make sure you record yourself online cooking every day. You will get fulfillment out of that. But when you abandon your natural gifts because it might not bring you the money you want, and you just trying to do what somebody else is doing, or they tell you to snap out of that, when you abandon what God gifted you at, you will always be unfulfilled and never have true peace and joy in your life. So every single day, whatever you good at, make sure you do it every day. Make sure you show yourself doing it online, and make sure you share your gifts, even if you're giving it to people, because this is just a fulfillment that can't be replaced, for real. Overthinking is a thief. Overthinking not only steal our dreams, but it steal our joy and it steal our peace, and we could never be the best version of ourselves overthinking. Because when we overthinking, we missing opportunities and procrastinating. Here we go. I'm so spiritual. I'm so spiritual. Oh God, oh Jesus. But we scared to take a step in faith. Our spirit to let us know something, that we should do something, but then we get in our own mind. We sitting there thinking it to death. We sitting there overthinking like this opportunity gonna be here forever. Then we miss that opportunity thinking another one gonna come, and now we gotta settle and live mediocre. We can't be the best version of ourselves missing opportunities, because opportunities don't go away. It just go to somebody else. It just go to somebody else. And here we go, just getting older and older and older, and we looking like, damn. And we ain't got nobody else to blame but ourselves by overthinking and missing opportunities, whether it's a blessing, whether it's a career move, whether it's a person sitting there overthinking, treating something rare like it's average. So I say, take a step in faith and get started, for real. I believe trying to be too perfect is a joy killer. It steals our peace when we try to live up to some unrealistic expectations. I say, don't be embarrassed. Learn to laugh at yourself. And so too many times we don't want to do this or say this because it might offend that person, or they might look at us a certain way. And it's so freeing when you no longer care what people think, because people gonna dislike you or like you no matter what you do or don't do. And so I say be free, man. Go make mistakes. Stop being embarrassed. Laugh at yourself and just be who you are, even when it's unpopular, and be the best version of yourself and who God created you to be. For real. God works to people. God works to people. When you see people feeding people they don't even know, that's God doing his will through them on this earth. When you see people jumping through fires to save people they don't even know, that's God working through people. And when you see somebody going into school shooting innocent people, that is Satan working through people. When you see people on the internet gotta keep tearing people down and find any negative thing in a good situation, that is Satan working through people, because Satan never came with pitchforks and horns. If you study scripture, he went to Jesus like, just bow down and worship me and you can have all this. He slithered in the Garden of Eden and told Eve, eat the apple. You won't die. And that's how Satan works. He play on our temptation, coming slick and manipulative. And so when you trying to get off drugs or you trying to do the right thing and that person be like, man, one more hit won't work, or you know what, that ain't gonna kill you, that's Satan working through that person. And when it's that person telling you take a step in faith and get started, or uplifting you and teaching you new things and making you a better person, that's God working through that person. God works through people to get his will on this earth done. And Satan works through people to get his will on this earth done. And so a lot of times we need to quit looking up and looking down, because God working through people all around us and Satan working through people all around us. And God works through us and Satan works through us. For real. Instead of us completing each other, we'd rather compete with each other. And a lot of competition really be our own insecurities. Our own insecurities that we had to be better than you just to validate ourselves. And a lot of times you compete with somebody because you want what they got, but you actually don't want to do what they did to get there. And so you just imitate and just try to look like them just to compete with them, when you really should work with them, because they have flaws that is your strength and you have strengths that is their flaws. But instead of working together, we'll rather compete. And that be our own insecurities. We'd rather do it by ourselves because we don't want to bring no one in. Like, damn, is they going to see what I'm really made of? Are they really going to see that? Or we have so many insecurities that we had to overcompensate, hoping someone don't see what we ashamed of. And so we put this old fake persona, oh, I don't need nobody. And it ain't nothing but insecurity. When we secure in ourselves, we can work with other people, because I know my strengths. I ain't got nothing to hide. I know I could give you props and still feel good about myself, because I think greatly about myself. But when you insecure, you can't even give nobody props, because you might be like, damn, they gonna think I'm dick riding, with your own insecurities. And so we have to work on our own weak weasel insecurities so we could be the best version of ourselves, to partner with somebody who being the best version of their selves and be something great, because teamwork make the dream work. And that's why we fail in our community, because we are so individualized. For real. Pressure a lot of times is a good thing, because it will let us know what we really made of. You will know what's inside of you when you under a squeeze. And so many times we say, I would never do that, or I would have did this if I was in that situation. And you don't know what you would do, because you ain't never been in that situation. And how this world works, you would get sent through that exact same situation, and you would do things that you say you would never do, or you wouldn't do things you said that you would do. And a lot of times we find out a lot about ourselves when we in trials and tribulation and under pressure. And a lot of people, they'll find out who we really made of when they see us under pressure. Because anybody could do the right thing when it's all good, when all the conditions is right. But let me see how you act when all the conditions going against you and everything is not in your favor. And so we got to fix our attitude. I would never do that. You don't know what you would do until you in that situation. And we'll really learn who we are when we under a squeeze, for real.